back online. Okay, can you hear me? Da? Da, хорошо. Okay, so yeah, basically I'm kind of fucked here, but that's how it is. I was explaining you this thing about the VSTs, that I had to have like VSTs and audio together and hide VSTs that I'm not using, and now I have all the VSTs there and I don't know how to filter them. Whatever, I'll fix that later. Now this is gonna be a Pro Tools moment again, and you're like, why I don't have Pro Tools. I'm just kidding to you. But I want to show you, like, let's say that we are gonna make a, like, this is what I wanted to discuss. One of the things I wanted to discuss mainly. Let's say that we want to grab a mix that we already have and we want to translate it into 5.1. This is really fast, and you will see that it's the same shit. All you need to do is to know a couple of things, and that's it. So let me just get out of this project and jump into another. And I'm opening a song that I'm mixing now, and that it already exists. A session that it already exists, and I'm gonna save as Boosie 5.1. And so, what do we got here? I got like a whole bunch of stereo tracks, like I usually do, and all the yellow ones are outputs to the router. And so, the way you need to work when you're working with 5.1 is like you need to create a 5.1 auxiliary track. I explained this to Dima before you arrived to Fly Sound. You need to create a 5.1 auxiliary input, and for example, you call this beats 5.1, and then you create it. And so you have now I don't know why he created two. I guess I wrote two. So he has created a 5.1 boss, and I need to route it to an output. And you see, like, all the outputs that I have are mono. So you're gonna have to are stereo, sorry, or mono. Like, and you're gonna have to go to the I/O of Pro Tools or of your DAW. I don't know which other DAW can do 5.1. I mean, I know that a lot of them, and you need to create a 5.1 output. So once you create a 5.1 output, you can route this bus to the output 5.1, which it would be, I don't know where it is right now. Wait, bus, stereo path not assigned. I think it's not assigned yet. I need to change something there. Just a second. In the I/O here, I think that I need to route this to an output 1 and 2. Why is it not there? Wait, output 5.1. It should be there. It really should be there. Wait. Maybe I missed it. I didn't see it. Or what? Wait, boss. Is it like reading it as a boss right now? Sorry, just a sec. Boss. No. Mix. It should be really here. In output 5.1 here. Am I missing it, or why is it not here? Wait. Let me try something else. Let me try a 5.1 audio track. Just a sec. And see the output here. Tell me, what did you check? Because this should already be worked. But I think that one of the things... so in Ableton you can mix two. Great. If you can do it in Ableton, that's great. I'm super happy. Like, if you can do it in Ableton, that's amazing. I think that this thing, it should... The reason why it's not appearing there is because I need to do this. And to map the outputs. Output 3. This is what we're gonna do in DTH, by the way. You see, like, imagine the back of the sound card. And we are deciding that output 1 goes to the left, output 2 goes to the right, output 3 goes to the center, and then we would connect output 3 to the center speakers. Output 4 will be the output to the subwoofer, and output left back and rear back, and output 6 will be the output of to the subwoofer. Let me see. I think that that's why it was not appearing there. Output 1 and 2 overlaps. Okay, yeah, and that's okay. Why do you mean that it's a limited way of mixing? You mean in Ableton. I mean that it was done. You will see. Yeah, because Pro Tools have some fishkas there that are quite useful. Wait. Man, why is this happening? Wait a second. Okay, I will switch this off. That's really weird that It's really, really strange. I mean, I really have no idea why that output is not appearing here, like it really should be. Wait, I have an idea why. Wait, IO. Wait, in out bosses. No. Yeah, I see. Let me make a new path here. That is a 5.1 path. Yeah, this was the first thing I did with Andre. I also need to create, I need to create the infrastructure that I will use. So this would be the output 5.1. And it's routed, yeah. And it's routed to output 5.1. And now if I go here and I go here and I go output, I still, no, it's gonna appear as a bus, but that's not what I want, like output 5.1. And then if I create a 5.1 master fader, can I do that? Wait, it's going to output 5.1. And now, wait, these are the buses. Yeah, I guess that this is correct. And then как старая мать река, прыгай до потолка, до дна не достать пока. It's a really nice song. So I want to just send like the metronome, just the metronome. Like I'm gonna load here the click track, and I'm gonna send it to. In a minute, I will be able to sort these issues that I have, and then I will be able to tell you what's going on. Yeah, this is going to output 5.1. It's all correct. And wait, if I go output, you know what? Something I did there when I started that maybe it's why I'm getting these issues is that I depurated all of these. I deleted all of this. Yeah, man, I know. I think I know what's going on. Yeah. I think all I have to do is to move these guys again, like I had done it. I don't need any of these outputs to make them inactive, and then make active this output alone, and then put it like left, right. I want it to be, yeah, left, right, center, rear left, rear right, and subwoofer. And now let me try this. So I made all the outputs inactive, and it still doesn't appear here for some. And I have like some old outputs there. I think this is some old Huinya. Wait, inputs, outputs, bus, default. Yeah, now it's gonna work, bro. Output, default. No, I fucked it up. Let's create a new path that is gonna be a 5.1 path and call it output 5.1. And now let me try it again. And now if I go here, output. Now here it is. There it is. Now it appears. I just like kind of like improved it, IO, and this path is inactive. Why? Just a moment. Path not active. No. Output 1 and 2. Output 3 and 4. No. 5.1. Mono left. This is not 5.10 quad. No, this is not what I want. Just to check out, I'm gonna jump to my project that I did there with Sergey, and I want to see something, because I mean, once we got this, it's so easy. It's like once we got this ready, let me see how I routed it here. Oh shit, man! I have a feeling that I kind of fucked it up. Here's my output 5 and 5.1, how it should be. I have a feeling that I fucked it up, like in that I'm gonna have to suffer a little bit later when I need to activate the output, the path 1, 2. Yeah, that's okay. And in here I have the output 5.1. Let me go here and see something here. Output meter, monitor. That's very strange. It shouldn't be like that. And output 5.1. Okay. Now let me go back to this session to where I was. Or to create a new one. Even to create a new one is okay. Let me create a new one and try like that. So let me drop it in the desktop. Yeah, we'll be ready in a minute, bro. Sorry for this delay. So fly sound, don't save. So now if I create a stereo auxiliary. I can go to output, and yeah, and there it is. For some reason the other session was not showing it to us, so I'm just gonna load the click track, just anything, it doesn't matter, or a synth. Let's make a song that is just one synth. So I'm gonna load a stereo, and actually, by the way, there are 5.1 instrument tracks, bro, and this is really cool. Like, for example, now I have just made a 5.1 instrument track. This is so cool. And look, native instruments, there is absinthe and Kontakt. There is a Kontakt 5.1 version. And so this is a Kontakt instance in 5.1, and then inside the Kontakt I will have the possibility to pan, like, I guess I have never done this before. So you see, like, these are the outputs, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And if I load anything here, let me see, do I have my keyboard? My main goal was not to do this, was more to show you how we can move from stereo to mono, from stereo to 5.1, and from 5.1. You will see, bro, like, you will understand this in a second. Yeah, it's a good question, and you will understand this in a second. I'm gonna load a stereo instrument track, and I'm gonna load in this instrument track a synth, sound toys, let me just load any synth here, Arturia, let me load the Mellotron, whatever, it really doesn't matter which one, and here. So here's a Mellotron, and all you have to do when you do this is, like, you make a new boss, and this is going to be a 5.1 boss. It's coming from a stereo track, it doesn't matter. Like, it can come from a stereo track, your source track can be mono, it doesn't matter. And then you route that stereo track to a 5.1 input auxiliary, and you can call this 5.1 auxiliary Mellotron 5.1. And so now you have a 5.1 auxiliary, which is Mellotron 5.1, and now when you play, you see, like, it's going to left and right, and it's not sending anything to center and the back. And then this is where it becomes really pro. Like, you see, you have a new panning matrix here, a totally new panning matrix. And then I can send to center. I can link them, of course, and then I can send to center. Wait, I want to link the lateral movement. Oh, I'm not streaming on YouTube. No, on YouTube I am. I'm not showing the screen. Yeah, I'm not showing the screen. Sorry. Yeah. The entire screen. Sorry, bro. So what I was showing you, let me just do this again real quick. What I was showing you is, like, I made a stereo instrument, and this stereo instrument was going to output 1 and 2, like that, just like that. And then I'm sending this to a new track, which is the equivalent in Ableton of routing this to another bus. And then I chose a 5.1 auxiliary, and then I changed the name of this to be Mellotron 5.1. And so there I have my Mellotron in 5.1. But you see, it goes only to channels left and right. The middle one is the center. And then this is the very pro thing about Pro Tools and working in 5.1. You click here and you get this routing matrix. You see, and then I can move, like, wait, I want this thing to be linked. I think it's here. Yeah, you see, like, now I'm moving them both to the center. I think I need to start this again. Wait. I think it's because of this. Yeah. I really don't know why it's behaving like that. There are so many things that are going in the wrong way right now. You can move, like, and imagine if we would be in DTH, like, when you do this and send it to the back, it's gonna be transporting the output. Okay, I see. Sorry, bro. I see. Let me make it quieter. The volume is here. You see the same volume knob. Like, it's just really nice matrix of panning and everything. When I play this now, you hear it very quiet, right? Or you don't hear it at all. You hear it very quiet. Yeah. And you see right now what's going on is that it's just I want you to pay attention to this meter down here. Like, you see, this is the left, right, center, blah, blah, blah. If I just start panning here, you see, like, it just sends audio. Now it's only in the center. And now it's on left and right. And now it's on the back, but not on the front. And still, Pro Tools makes some sort of mix down version, so we can understand what's going on. It's not like when you send something to the back, you don't hear it. It's kind of like assuming that right now, because we are in a stereo world, right now it's assuming that that the back is left and right the same. He doesn't care. And the same with center. When you are in the 5.1 system, it would be sending output like to channel 1 or 2 or 3 in different volume. It would be just like triangulating that. And the other thing that you need to know, or that it's cool to know here, is that when you work in movies and stuff, the center channel needs to be left absolutely for dialogues alone. You don't put anything on the center channel. There is only left and right, back and forth. Center is just dialogues and some sound effects. And the other thing that I want to show you is that when you're done and you want to make a master, like a mix or something that goes into stereo, you need to use a plugin. Wait a second. Blah, blah, blah. Take that out. Let me just get out of this and go back to my main session because I already have this done there. You see, what happens is that when you're making something like this, you're going to make a mix for the cinema. But that mix, the minority of people will hear it. The majority of the people will hear it in the streaming services or in TV or something, or in their computer. They will not hear in the 5.1. So you need to also make a stereo mix. And the way this works is that there is a plugin called Down Mixer. You see, in this plugin, you have it here in your screen. If you see your screen 1 second, you will see it. We're almost done. Like if you see this plugin in your screen, you will see that I'm now just gonna press here, play. If I don't do these cuts, he will double sum like back and forth, and he will start clipping. So you kind of need to make a balance of all the channels so it sums in stereo nicely. And of course, I really don't know, man. The phase in between them is really important. And imagine this problem, bro. Like when you're mixing for a movie theater, like, will the back and the front be in phase? Who the fuck knows? I mean, it depends on the construction of the cinema. You see? Like maybe for the cinema where you mixed it was in phase. But there is a cinema in Tula that the wall on the back, it's like 10 meters away from the wall in the front. And so when everything sums up, it will be out of phase. And then there is another cinema in, I don't know, in St. Petersburg that has this problem. I guess that they calibrate those things, but not everywhere, right? Yeah, I mean, that's what I mean. I have no idea. This is a really good question. When I sat there, I was checking phase between, I was sending like a synth to back and front, and I was changing the phase of it, and I was like, oh shit, like that makes a very big difference. And then I thought like, fuck, but who knows what the dimensions. So I guess there is a standard. I don't know. But anyways, where I stop for now for today is just like telling you, okay, look, there is a down mixer, and the down mixer, you can use it to move to stereo. It's not like I thought before I started, I thought that you had to make like a totally different stereo mix. It's like, no, you make a 5.1 mix, and then you down mix it to stereo, and you just make sure that it doesn't clips. So, okay, the next step for me would be, so we move on. I understand that kind of, I mean, in this lecture we didn't learn so much. It's just a conversation, discussing, but now you see it. You see that it's simply just grabbing stereo tracks and routing them to 5.1 buses, and then do everything you usually do in exactly the same way. Now, you will have some limitations because many of your plugins that you use don't have 5.1 instances at all. So I had to adapt to this very hard, and I had to change my mix bus. I had to change everything, and that's why I ended up mixing everything with Neutron, because Neutron has a 5.1 version, and I put it on the mix bus. So Neutron was my mix bus, basically. And that concludes really nicely our conversation that I wanted to have. It's like, we need to be ready for doing something that takes 8 months and requires us to make a million things that we can throw away. And we also need to be ready to arrive to a studio, sit down there, and it's like, oh fuck. And I know that you particularly are very punk about this, and you don't care, and you will adapt. But I arrived to that studio and I was like, fuck, I don't have any of these plugins. I don't know anything of the system. Zero panic. Let's just fucking adapt, you know, and change my scheme. And I teach some scheme and I have some rules and I had to break them all in the most important moment of my career. That was really funny. And I was super proud of myself that I sat there and I was like, I have to start mixing now. This is the most important mix I have ever done. And I don't have any of my tools. And I was like, whatever, okay. Just there is a compressor here, there is a limiter, there is an EQ. I can work. Done. And I know you are like this. You will not panic too, I know. But some people will. You will not panic. You will not give a shit and just work. But some people will. Anyways, this closes our conversation. I'm going to stop the streaming. And if you want to discuss now other stuff, private, whatever, or we can do it in another time, it's a good time for me if it's okay for you.